everybody. This is a podcast about love and relationships. And with us today, we have
Shaun White.
The incredible Shaun White. Shaun, I like to start this podcast by telling every guest something that I love about them.
Okay.
So if you want to just get comfortable.
I wasn't uncomfortable before.
Okay.
It was make sure you stay uncomfortable. So when I tell
Could you please be uncomfortable?
Okay, got it.
I really enjoy Shaun as a comedian, but also as a person. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Look, don't get too in depth. You know, I feel like people out there gonna start getting lost in all the details.
I know it's too much. I really like your comedy. I like when I first met you. You were someone that I had already liked you as a comedian, and so you're really nice to me when I was a new, shiny, fresh comic, and I really appreciated that. And it was really nice.
Well, I'm happy to be so. To be nice to a young comic, I think you're great, and I don't know whether like when I first saw you, some stupid Big Brother instinct kicked in, and I just didn't. You know, I don't know. It's one of those because you're a lot. You're a very smart lady, but your high pitched voice and bubbly demeanor does not. It makes me want to go run. Run, they're gonna eat you alive. So it's nice to know that you know that you are a smart lady to take care of yourself and all that jazz. But it does, you know, I don't know, bring out like an innocence in me. I don't know. I don't like it.
That's sweet. Thanks, Shaun.
No worries.
So this is a podcast about love.
Got it. So I'm told.
So a little bit of background for our listeners who don't really know you. Your first album that you had, your first comedy album, Dead and Gone, kind of dealt with a divorce.
Yes.
And the death of a lot of your family.
Yep. All my siblings, all three of my siblings, and then my mom.
And they all died within like 2 years?
2 years. It was all once every 6 months. And also got divorced in the middle of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot to deal with.
I guess. I mean, I didn't have much choice. You'd be surprised what you get through when you have no choice otherwise.
How long ago was that?
You know what? I wish I knew exactly, but you know it's so weird. You ever see somebody online when they're like, "This is the day that blank died," and like a year ago, or like and I'm like, "Why do you remember death anniversaries? What the fuck is wrong with you?" Like, you could remember birthdays. Like, you could celebrate their life instead of like constantly being like, oh, I remember. Like, I purposely never remember the date of any of those events, and I long since forgot them because like they're remembered in me and memorialized in me as like totems that I can think about. I never think of I remember when I heard. And I remember like the funerals and stuff like that, but I have no idea the exact date and times of any of it anymore because it was all a haze. When it keeps hitting you again and again and again and again, you eventually go like, you know what, forget it. I'm not trying to remember any of this life. Like, you know, and I was trying to kill myself with drugs and alcohol for the 2 years after that. Like, it was all ended up being a haze of 2 years of pain and 2 years of going too far. So I would say 5 to 6 years ago is when it ended, I believe.
Okay.
I believe.
And so since all that stuff happened, I mean, that kind of changes how you feel about love.
It changes who you are. It changes a lot. Like what I think about. Like I used to have a joke about it, like where I wasn't gonna say I love you anymore to people. It wasn't so easy. Because, and it still affects me, but I just don't mind saying it as much anymore. But where, to me before, saying I love you meant I can't live without you. Like I would just, I think about my whole life with you, blah, blah, and all that shit. You're there in every vision I have. But then you realize love is also, oh wait, I can live without any of you because I have to.
Yeah.
I had to. So it stripped my form of love from me by proving to me that I can live without anyone. And it's not a forget everybody else. I'm live in the woods and I'm self-sustaining. It was one of those like, Oh, I don't take it as lightly as I used to. I mean, I remember specifically at a show where I had done in Wisconsin, oddly enough, that the one of the people in the audience, her family had passed away, and I did that joke, and her boyfriend they were in a fight, and he was at the show as well. They were in a fight because she wouldn't say "I love you" like nearly as well, like as he wanted to.
Yeah.
And that joke finally explained to him that it means something different when you've lost everything. That you realize how we define it. We go into I love you and I need this and blah blah. But when you realize that in yourself you have everything, you don't actually need anyone. And then when someone stares you in the face and goes, "I love you," you're like, "All right,
Okay.
like because I know for a fact I'm gonna be fine. Like I can love you, but it doesn't mean the same thing to me anymore because I don't have a grandiose idea that all love is permanent, that all love is something that we do forever, and it's just not. It's not what you think it is. It's you have more control over it than you might think."
When was the last time you were in love?
I mean, right now, I'm with a lady that I think about a lot and all this other stuff, but I'm reticent to say I love. I will when she says it, but I don't know. I'm kind of worried that I'm not going to ever again, like in the same way. It doesn't mean that like, oh, I'll never love again. It means like, I never feel anything that I feel I can't recover from. I can feel extremely strong feelings for a lot of people. That does not, but I feel that about friends. I feel that about a lot of different things. That doesn't mean that I can't not, or that I can't change. I understand.
And adapt.
I understand that love is not permanent and that it's something that's fluid and it can change. And my definition of it can be very different than others. And mine can stop in a second because just out of self-preservation, it's learned how to do that. But it's not I hurt so much for your love. I need you. Like I don't put that on anyone anymore.
It's a lot of responsibility.
I could think about someone and care about someone, but I love a lot of friends where I care about them a lot and I want to do nice things for them and everything like that. And I feel all the other stuff, but realistically, I don't have that innocence anymore about it. Like even after divorce, like marriage, all that stuff, it just makes me go like, all right, they're all just steps. They're all just things we do. Like you're going to start to stop loving. You're going to whatever. You could die in a minute. It doesn't matter. None of it matters. Like just love as hard as you can whenever you can. But stop trying to put some kind of permanence on it. Like just experience and feel it. Like just love it. Love. Like love that you feel it. Like and embrace it and be intimate, be whatever. Like get it out. But I never at any point do I let go of the idea of going like, but I'd be fine though if this didn't work out.
Yeah.
Like it always, I put myself out there 100%, but that doesn't necessarily, I don't know. It's honestly something that does worry me that but also I think it's because the way people talk about love. You ever hear people talk about it and you go, I don't know if I felt that. Like it's,
like give an example. What do you mean?
Well, like person I'm with now and people I've been with, I've been in a relationship a long time, but whenever anybody has ever said it to me or we've been saying it or all that jazz in a relationship, I don't think it means to me the same thing as it means to them.
Do you think you always felt that way or since your divorce?
I think that it happened when my family passed.
Okay.
I think some of the, because what ended up happening is you realize nothing's permanent. Anything can be taken at any moment. And so I don't know whether I'm purposely reserving part of myself that I refuse to let get hurt or something like that. But realistically, I also try to put up myself entirely. So I'm not intentionally holding anything back in any relationship. Like I really do care about the woman I'm with, and I really do try to take care, like try to do everything I possibly can, try to be romantic, try to be honest, try to be, you know what I mean? I don't know. Try to do everything that people call love, and I do feel it for, and I do think about it, I do everything. But like I've realized that there's such a fluid definition of it enough where you could even have a podcast about it, where it's subjective, it's person to person.
Totally.
And I think my version is different than most, simply because mine doesn't come with any form of permanence. It's in the moment. I'll have like a friend that I can say, like in this moment, I love you.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I'm going to wake up tomorrow thinking about you. Like, I don't know. Like, you just be honest with yourself 100% all the way. And I don't see any point in lying to myself about how I feel. And I think a lot of people, when they talk about love, they make it sound grandiose. But there are a lot of moments when you're not thinking about that person. There's not like, people are like, I think about you all the time. Well, I don't know. Maybe you're taking a shit and you're on the phone and you're not thinking about it. Sorry. Like be honest with yourself. There are times like, I can't live without you. I think you can.
Well, I think so much of what we think love is a part of our experience too. Like, I have people in my own family that I know they love me, but the way that they show me that they love me, or the way that they show other people around them that they love them, is like, this is totally different than how I would treat someone that I loved. You know what I mean? Like, their capacity for love is different, and the way that they show love is different. Like, my dad, for example, like, the way that he shows love to me is he will buy me things at garage sales, things I do not need, things I have not asked for, and then he will ship them to me, spending more money on shipping than he bought. And I'm just like, why do I have a salad bowl? I don't need the salad, but that's the way
salad.
that my it's
It's pretty obvious why you would have a salad bowl.
But it's like,
I mean, you can also put other stuff in a salad bowl.
But it's a giant salad serving bowl, and I live in an apartment that I don't even have 4 chairs. So like,
you never wanted to eat 2 cans of soup at once? It's like somebody set up for a party. I get that, but also that's what I'm saying. As I think, like, especially the way musicians throw the word love out all the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll hear a song and you'll be like, I love you, and then it's like, I'll wait it outside your house, and you're like, whoa.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, you are throwing that word around. I think you are infatuated, my friend. Like, and it's. Everybody has a different way of showing it, and like, not just even showing it, but I feel
experiencing it.
We all grab what we want out of the word.
Yeah,
and
it's so broad.
Make it our own.
We talk about toast when we use love. Like, it's.
I love toast.
Big fan.
Yeah, big fan. Oh boy.
But like, I equally care about toast and also this person. Like, what? Maybe, I don't know.
Like, well, I mean. I may not be able to live without iced coffee. Like, maybe I love iced coffee more. I probably honestly have a bigger attachment to iced coffee than I've had to most people. Like, it's.
Do you think love has an addictive quality to it? The way that we talk about it?
I mean, I think it's addictive to use the word because as a society, we allow people to get away with a lot of stuff by saying it.
Yeah.
Like, where people go like, I can't help it. I love her. Maybe, I don't know, maybe keep your hands to yourself. You'd be fine. Like, I feel like it's used as an excuse a lot of times to not have control. And
that's interesting.
People want to jump on board love so that they can have a reason to not listen to their own sense. And it's like, because we romanticize it so much and have built it up so much that it becomes oh, I'm sad, I can get away with anything. Oh, I'm in love, I can get away with anything. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, how many stories are
like
just
if someone hurts you or like cheats on you in a relationship and
you hurt me, I was in love. That's why I'm allowed to do all this awful stuff.
Yeah, I can burn your clothes on the front lawn. Yeah. It's like, well, you don't have to do that, actually.
I know, you could donate them.
Just leave.
Yeah. Or you could wear them and have a lot of new clothes.
Yep.
But it's like people use all of it for an excuse for their behavior. And everyone,
interesting.
Everyone is always looking for a reason to not have to be responsible all the time. And whether that's through love, whether that's through anger, whether that's that's the same with cursing.
Yep.
Like there's a Kurt Vonnegut book where this guy doesn't curse, and he's even when he was a soldier or sergeant in Vietnam, and somebody asked him like, why don't you curse, even though you're this murderer who's killed all these people and all that stuff like that, and it was just like, because my mom told me people are always looking for a reason not to listen to you. Don't give them one. And cursing was one that is true though, that when people like curse, they go, "Ow, my ears." It's like, that doesn't negate my point.
Yeah.
Never at any point does language negate my point. Like, you've just found a reason to not listen. You just found, like, my accent isn't a reason to not listen. Like, someone being drunk is a reason to not listen. Someone being on drugs is a reason. Someone could be on drugs and still look at you in the face and say something that could have changed your life, but you chose not to listen because they could have been homeless on drugs in the street. And it's like, well, that doesn't negate what they said. Like, we just look for any reason out. And love is one of the many reasons that we've built up as a society, that you're allowed to get away with anything because of that. And it's just another reason to not take responsibility and not worry about it. It's always someone else's fault. It's always something else. It's always, anything you can do to not have to pay attention to your own behavior and take responsibility for it.
Do you think that the way that you are now, that when you have relationships with people, do you feel a disconnect with that? Is with them wanting to be like, well, I'll just move here, or I'll sacrifice this for you because I love you. Have you experienced any of that?
I always feel a disconnect. Like, I always feel that they have a different definition of it than I do, and they have a more innocent, I love you, so that means X.
Yeah.
I think you can just say, I love you. Done. There's no, that means, like, leave it alone. Like, anytime you ever try to say 1 equals 2, like, you're setting yourself up to be either hurt, disappointed, and it's your own fault, because without desire, there is no suffering. And as long as you keep wanting shit, you're going to keep getting hurt. And it's better to understand what you actually want and not hide it behind love. And like, people will go like, I love this person because they complete me. It's like, you could have completed yourself, bruh. Like, any of the times when you were alone, you could have figured out your own flaws and fixed them.
Yeah.
But instead you went, oh, but they're good at this, so that, helps me with blank. Like, dude, just fix yourself. Stop trying to say it's because of love that you do or don't, like, appreciate a trait. Like, you could just be in awe of someone, and it doesn't have to be because you failed at it. Like, it makes it convenient, because then you can write off your own mistake as loving someone else's strength.
Do you feel like the way that you're because you have this perspective, do you feel like in some ways you are capable of loving people more fully because you're not trying to hold on to them?
Well, yes, and I feel like I'm more capable of appreciating. I don't know if it means I'm capable of loving more, but I am capable of appreciating things more. Like, because I don't waste time trying to explain things away or trying to rush through life or trying to whatever. I'm more than willing to, when you're actually having a good night with someone, even if it's not like like a relationship for the rest of your life or whatever, you can actually stop and say, this is a good moment. Let's just take it in for a fucking second. Let's just relax.
You're capable of, but I think like sometimes love is something, like the way that you're talking about it is, love is something that we use to kind of ignore the parts of people that we're not comfortable with, that we don't want to look at. Like, if you're with someone and you're dating them and they have habits that you might not like, you're like, yeah, but I love them. Okay, so every time we go out, she yells at the waiter.
You don't actually care that much about that flaw.
Yeah.
Or if you care, change it. Say, bring it up. But either way, it's a way to shirk responsibility.
Yeah.
Like, because I love, I let go. Because I love, I do this. Because I love, I do that. It's like, don't. Just fix your life. Like, these are external factors that you could do something about, but instead you decide to ignore them.
But then that's something that, like, in 3 years, you'll be like, hey, this bothers me. Like, I've been doing this the whole time.
Right. Why
did you say something?
That's like almost every relationship or dating or whatever I've had with almost any woman is like, the first time they don't care that I smoke. And then as you get more and more dates in, suddenly they go like, I really don't like that. And it's like, all right, kind of picked a shitty time to tell me. Like, you could have, if it was really a deal breaker for you, you should have done that instead of trying to change me later. Like, I have no interest in smoking for the rest of my life. But I don't care if you suddenly don't like it and then you lied about it. Or you hid it, like, which is another form of lying. So don't act, you know what I mean? Like, you put it aside because of this.
Yeah.
So I know you're capable of it. You just decided that you suddenly didn't want to deal with it anymore. And it's like, that's not, you don't get to just decide when you do and don't deal with stuff. If you need to be consistent in what you do and don't believe.
Well, that's also your life. You know, like, I think that's the hardest thing. I think when I was younger, I felt when you're in a relationship with someone, you have more agency over who they are and they have more agency over who you are. But then when you get older, it's just kind of like, you can do you. And I don't necessarily, want you to smoke, or I don't necessarily want you to do this, but it's also not my life. I'm not the person that has to.
Right. Well, there's like, I found like a lot of times in relationships, like, people are like, I don't like this or this or that. And I'm like, okay. And I can try and change things, but just so we're clear, I've never tried to change anything about you. Like, when I like someone, I try to appreciate them. We constantly try to gauge three-dimensional objects like humans on a 2D scale of good or bad. And it's like you're completely forgetting a whole, like, two other vectors of how good or bad they can be. Like, you're just trying to say, like, yes or no.
Well, sometimes
people are not that simple.
Sometimes the part of someone that makes them really good at something is the same part that makes them bad at something.
I know how comedy works. And like we developed, this kind of as a self-defense mechanism against other things we're bad about that we didn't want to talk about. So we learned how to change the tension, change the subject.
Yeah. But that's what makes you fun to hang out with.
Girl. That and my drinking problem.
Do you think you have a drinking problem?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I think that I drink a lot.
Okay.
I don't think I have a problem in the sense that I stop for periods of time. Like, I just don't tell people. The thing is, like, people like see me like, oh, he's always drinking. It's like, yeah, but you didn't see me when I wasn't drinking. I was at home not talking to anybody. Like, I was just watching Netflix drinking orange juice. What the fuck is wrong with me? Like, why can't I not have, like, I go periods without stuff and be, like, I don't know. Feel like unless I'm drinking water at a bar, no one would notice, and they just assume like with my accent, like if I'm excited, like I'm always drunk to them.
But
like,
then if you are drinking water at a bar, people are gonna get mad at you for it, because people have gotten mad because they'll be like, "No, I don't want to drink." They're like, "Why?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just don't want to right now."
Well, I don't.
What?
Oh, well, I always if you want to get rid of them for that, just say financial.
Oh. Then people buy you. I'm a girl though, so people will buy me a drink.
You're a woman.
I'm a woman. Thank you.
Be nice.
Thank you so much. I'm a proper woman.
I didn't call you proper. I merely said that the legal term would be more applicable.
Oh yeah, I appreciate. That's probably true. Yeah, I am a woman, and so people.
Well, think about it. If I kept calling myself a boy the entire time.
That's weird. That's weird.
Exactly. It's the same. You want a girls' night out? That sounds illegal.
Yikes.
Like maybe have a woman's night out. I don't know.
Oh man. So you're dating someone now?
I am.
How long has that been going on?
Since July 4th is when I asked her out.
That's my first kind of like cute official date with the boo that I'm seeing. Although technically we did go out on another date as friends, and then afterward he goes, "Great first date, okay, bye." And then he got out of my car and I was like, "Wait, what?"
Got out of your car?
I gave him a ride home. I picked him up and we went to a place.
Well, that's when you make your move, is when you let him out of the car. Like, hey, like,
I didn't,
before you get out of here.
I didn't know that's what I mean, you know how sometimes you hang out with someone, you're like, this isn't what we're doing, but you know it's what you're doing.
I mean, I thought you said you like to date people you're friends with first.
Yeah, so we were just like hanging out as friends, and then
I don't know. I tend to be more quick or faster about it.
Yeah.
So it's not like usually they know what, I don't know. We know what's going on.
Yeah.
But I mean, July 4th, I wasn't, it was somebody I had a crush on, and then I wasn't going to hit on him because I respect him a lot and I didn't want to bother him with that bullshit. It seems kind of weird to be like, but what about my penis? And it seems, like you can just respect people as humans. You don't always have to make it that.
Yeah.
And then on July 4th, friend was like, do it, ask them out, do it. I don't know. They don't sound like that, but they were... Like, hey, like, go ahead, take a shot. Who cares? If it's a no, who cares? If yes, who cares? You know what I mean? Like,
but if it's also like, I feel like as women, like, if it's someone that you have a friendship relationship with and you like them as a person, if they ask you out and you're like, oh, hey, I'm not really interested, there can still be respect there. Like, it won't change that dynamic.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
Like, I wasn't worried about it so much. So I asked her out, and I was just worried about not respecting or it being. I know she's someone who does get hit on a lot, and so I didn't want to get in line.
Yeah.
I wanted to be different somehow, and but I asked her out, and she said no. And then based off. So then, like 2 days later, I wake up to a message from her that was like, I was listening to your albums, which is like BS. She may have, yes, but that didn't really, she was just looking for an excuse to start the conversation again.
Yeah.
And
because she liked talking to you.
Yeah.
Because did you have like a rapport with her where you would like text and talk and stuff?
Not before this, no.
Okay.
No. I mean, in person, we had like talked a decent bit, but like, that was for the most part, that was it.
Okay.
And then she, messaged me and was like, hey, blah, blah, let's do albums, and I like them and stuff and whatnot. And we started talking, and I immediately responded like with that Rudolph gift. She thinks I'm cute. And I'm like, I don't care what you say. I know you're messaging me 2 days later because like you don't care about my albums. You just wanted to talk to me again, and you found a reason to do it. Like, and I immediately called it out, and then eventually we did meet up and hang out and whatnot, and it's been going very well ever since. But she's out of town right now, and she's coming back tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's super fun.
Yeah. No, that's cool. She's been gone for 2 weeks though, which kind of sucks. But because I've been real thirsty, and I'm not used to going 2 weeks without sex, and so it's like even when I was single, and so it's that was a lot. What are you supposed to do? You can't have sex with other people because I'm just like with someone now.
Yeah.
Like normally I have like 3 people that I'm having sex with, so it's fine. And you can just rotate when one's gone, you just go to the next one. It's fucking annoying.
Yeah, but you like this one.
Whoops.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm gonna turn the old volume off. Hey, it's her. Oh, get out of here.
What did she say? Is it cute?
Let's see. Hoo boy, I started a shitstorm on Facebook. Get me out of here. More than likely so she has like a lot of creepy guys that follow her online and like make comments and stuff
super
like that.
Fun. Yay.
Yeah. So that's I stay away from all that, but I don't even want to look at her page to see what she wrote or not. Because I remember she wrote one a while ago that was like all the disgraced comedians that for sexual assault should be allowed to perform again, but only in an improv troupe where they're all together, and the suggestion always has to be listening to women.
That's really funny.
And then she had like somebody like, well, you're just saying this because the blah, like, and tried it like, I don't know, like just internet idiots trying to but also she gets nasty messages, like sex messages and stuff like that, like all the fucking time.
Just like a dick, and you're like, oh no.
Well, I get like some, and I like
you get dicks?
No, I get like women trying to talk to me via direct message and other stuff like that.
Yeah,
like women do it differently than men, but
dude, my boyfriend's DMs are popping way harder than mine. It's crazy.
I don't believe that. I think you're desensitized to yours.
Oh, maybe so.
You've gotten so many for so long, especially as a woman in comedy. You probably outpace a lot of. I can't imagine a man getting.
So this is part of what it is.
Also, I know your boyfriend looks like, and he's great too, but there's no way those DMs are popping more than yours.
The thing that, we talked about it, and the thing is like men generally respect. So like I have made it public that I'm in a relationship with someone, and men will kind of be like, oh, cool. Like she's with someone, that's cool. And whereas like women are just like, but how serious is that though? And so he will still get women that like hit on him, even though they know that he has a girlfriend, which is like really weird to me.
When it's funny when I was like when I was in the height of my thest, when she was gone, like this lady messaged me and was like, hey,
so thirsty, you're British.
Do you want to come over and fucking not talk again for a couple months? And I was like, damn it. No. But I want to, but I don't. Like, I don't know. But no, it would hurt her. So
yeah.
And also, you're crazy and I don't want to deal with you.
That's a lot of work.
But it's fine. Stuff happens.
Do you think that there's some credence to that? Like, did that person know that you were with someone?
No, but that's why I told him. Like, I was like, and nobody knows. I don't tell anybody. Like, I mean, it's gonna ruin my career. I'm a sex symbol.
Shaun White's Southern sex symbol.
Everyone would be so disappointed. The symbol's just that S you drew in high school, like the chain link S.
It's on all your notebooks and also your chest.
But I don't tell a whole lot of. Well, technically, I do have Suzuki. It's on my car. But
I have to go.
Shut up. But that's I don't tell anybody. I don't have any particular reason for it. I suppose I just don't like sharing my private life with a lot of people. Like, I mean, I don't mind sharing anything, but I just don't walk up and go like, "Hey, my life!" Like, and I especially don't do jokes about it.
I had a problem, especially here in LA, is I would start dating someone and I'd be like, "Hey, should we just keep this chill for a minute?" And part of it was I didn't want to have to deal with what would happen when it ended. Like, I didn't want to have to deal with people being like, "What happened to so-and-so?" And I'm like,
Yeah. Like,
you know?
I don't, like, that's the same reason you don't tell your parents anything.
Yeah, I don't tell them anything.
Like, I'm sorry, I don't want to update you later. I just don't care. To me, it's relaxed and it's enjoyable. And the last thing I need is a newsletter that I have to send out. Like,
is this homework? What's happening?
I don't want to have to tell you people. Oh, that's too bad. It's like, but you didn't care.
You didn't even know
You just
them.
commented on the last thing I told you.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, too, is like, I just don't want anyone else's opinion about it. Because it's like, I like them, and I know why I like them, and I don't need anyone else's opinions. I don't need their judgments or their whatever, or I just like this person, and I don't.
I just think it's like, I know little lady has my a picture of me as the background on her phone.
That's cute.
Yeah, it is. And I had hers as mine until I kept getting distracted, and I was like, I gotta change this. Like, this is weird. But that's why I guess like she's in New York right now, and a lot of people have like recognized me from her phone, and it's like dick repellent. Like she was calling it, like where people just go like, all right, not worth the fight, and like go and we'll leave her alone. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, no, there's a picture of us together as my background. And then when someone's like, "Oh, do you want my number?" I'm like, okay. It's like, no.
I mean, you should just guard your, like, do you want my number? No, I don't. I'll Facebook message you. Like, if I really want to talk to you, I don't know anything. I'll take an email. Like, I don't give out my phone number that very often, but, it's like so like I know like another like Chicago comic that did hit on her that she turned down, and then like his friend when she's there visiting saw the background or whatever, and I know none of them will ever try to hit on her again. Like well, they're kids, and boys don't, like when they know that like an actual adult is like, he's like, oh, that's why you got turned down, because you're a fucking child. And none of you have a shot with her anymore. Sorry. Once somebody with responsibility and an adult, like, she's not gonna go back down to fucking boys. Like,
are these people that you knew when you were in Chicago?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
Funny.
It's fun.
Oh, that's cute. I kind of want to talk about your family a little bit.
Go right ahead.
So
you knock yourself out.
Yikes. Oh no. I think it's weird because like you still, I mean, like, you still talk about, okay. Stop making faces at me.
they're not at you. They're just making faces. Like, why does it have to be like, don't at me?
So I mean, like, you lost your family and you lost all these people that you love. What are kind of the things that you do, because you had like a whole different life when you had these people in your life? Do you have like a nostalgia, like when you think about things, like when you're out in the world, and this is something like I'm having a tough time right now because my brother, I only have one, and growing up he's like my best friend, and he just stopped talking to my whole family. He just stopped, it was like a year ago, and then I went to a psych ward and it was a whole thing. But it's hard because
he went to a psych ward.
I went to a psych ward. He sent me there. Yeah, it's a dumb story. Basically, what happened was I was really upset because he wasn't speaking
First
to my
off,
family.
if you ever have to say, I went to a psych ward, and then your story starts at, what had happened was.
What had happened was.
That's not necessarily.
What had happened was I sent an email.
That fire
and I was sad.
started on its own, and I had nothing to do. Okay, a little bit to do with it.
Okay, I was really sad, and I sent him this email, and he called the police on me, and they took me out of work in handcuffs, and then they sent me to a psych ward. It was really shitty, and I had to be there for 3 days. It was very bad.
That's dumb.
It made me very sad, but
handcuffs.
They have to legally handcuff you to put you in the back of a squad car. At least that's what they told me. And then they held me in a holding cell for 3 hours. And then it's like, why don't you trust the system? It's like, I don't know. None of this helped me. But anyways, it's hard because people will like.
If somebody ever texting you suicidal stuff, just be like, stop, or I'll tell someone. Don't just run off and tell someone immediately.
No, first thing. And the worst part about it is his wife was the one that did it. He didn't even do it.
What?
Yeah. And I don't like her. And
well, that seems obvious.
Yeah, not a fan.
You have nothing but evidence now. Like, I don't know what your relationship was before, but it
was bad before.
I don't like her, and I don't even know her.
Only gotten worse. I really do not like her. Yeah. So their relationship is not something that I approve of or like, and it's not great. But it's hard because sometimes people will say something, and it's like, oh, that reminds me of my brother, and then I like want to like share this memory, and it's like it's a happy memory, but now it's sad.
Oh yeah. I was telling a friend the other night. It was very, very, very hard for me to see movies again in movie theaters after they all passed, because traditionally there was an order of events that happened. I'm
sorry.
No, don't ever be sorry for being yourself.
I cry about everything, so it's really.
It's fine. Again, not judging, just noticing. But it's see, people don't cry out of the center of their eye. If you ever see it in a movie, they're lying. It always comes out of the side. Sorry, that's annoying. But for example, I never was always like the first one to go see a movie when it came out.
Yeah,
my brother always had to go see that real fast. Like he would always be like the one in line seeing the midnight showing on a Thursday kind of stuff.
Aww.
And he would then text me whether it was good or bad.
Oh, that's cute.
And it was a long time where I just didn't see movies because I just didn't know about them. Because no one was texting me to tell me that a movie came out. Like, I never paid attention.
Was he your older brother?
Yeah. And then every time I would see a movie, once I got out, I would text him what I thought of it as a retort to whether or not it was in fact good or bad or whatever. Like, and we normally have pretty similar tastes.
You could like talk to him about it. You had someone to share that with.
Right.
Yeah.
To a point where I didn't realize it. But every time I walk out of a movie, I reach for my phone to text him. I still do. And I couldn't see movies for years because I kept going. It was just too sad to deal with the fact that my brother was gone.
Yeah.
I had no one to share this movie with. Like, and it's just, even if I saw it with friends, second we got out, I'd reach for my phone and go, oh, you're right, he's dead. Fuck y'all. Like, it just like suddenly, like, you know what I mean? Like, you just remember it. But that's why they all became totems to me. It was like, in Buddhism, you don't worship anything. You request guidance from people who embody certain traits. So you're asking for someone to help you with compassion who represents compassion. You're asking someone to help you with this. That's every person.
It's the same way that we have saints in religion or that we have different gods and if you're Hindu.
And so they have become totems for me now. So I'm not sad anymore because when I want to feel or when I want their strength, I know what they represent and which and I know what to ask one of my sisters, and I know what to ask my other, and I know what to ask my mom, and I know what to ask my brother. And so it's not. There's but like letters to a young poet by Maria Rainer Rilke.
That's a beautiful book.
But it's like one of the things that he says in it is sadness is actually not a feeling. Sadness is just a loss without understanding.
Yeah.
Where you've lost something, but you don't know what it is. You can't define what you've lost. And the second you understand the extent of your loss and what actually you wanted and what you actually missed, you're not sad anymore. And that they replace each other. But until you understand it, you're always sad. The same way understanding removes fear, the same way understanding removes anger, the same way understanding removes just about everything. It does that with sadness. And so it's just a lack of it. And now that I've, over the years, slowly found what they meant to me, things I didn't know, like movies, like other stuff like that, like those habits.
Yeah.
Now that it's been long enough that I've experienced all of those and had to feel it and then actually gone, oh, don't hide from it. Lean into it and go, why am I sad right now? What did they bring to the table that I am missing?
Yeah.
And learn how to replace that. And you're not replacing them. They still are their totem, but you learn how to remove the sadness slowly, piece by piece. And part of what made me get over it was a promise I made to myself that for every smile taken from me, I'd make 2 more. And that's why I do stand up, and that's why I keep moving, is every time I go see a movie and I think about my brother, that's 2 more laughs I need to make. Every time I think about the fact that I can't tell my mom something, I make 2 more. Every time I'm missing something, I make more. This world will be better than I am forced to deal with. And I won't ever stop that. And that means I've technically, because I've outlived all, even just by making the albums and stuff like that, if they will exist beyond me, they will continue to create smiles. I will win this fight. And I won't stop until this world realizes that if this is what 1/4 of us could have done, maybe you'll finally understand what this world lost when they died.
It's really beautiful.
Hopefully. We'll see if it works out.
What do they all represent to you? You said your brother he's your totem for movies. What are the totems of the others?
He's like one for aggression and a lot of other things. My sister Elise is for like kind of a James Dean fuck you attitude. Like,
do you feel like when you're in situations where you want to call that up, you think of them and you use it and you feel them with you?
I imagine, like, whenever I'm worried about whether or not I should or shouldn't do something, I think about my mom, and I think, would it make her happy? And if it does, I do it. If she's happy with me, that's the only judgment I need, and I have it with me wherever I go. I don't need anyone else to tell me what's right or wrong. I'll always have it. The same way, like with my sister Shelly, like represents like a loyalty and like a kind of a duty. Like she represents duty, and like my other sister represents just kicking ass and not lying to yourself, going for it. Like my brother represents like a persistence, and a redemption. They all have something, and that's all very important to me. So, and no one can ever tell me that I'm doing a bad job because I don't listen to your judgment. I have my own judge, and they're with me wherever I go. So it was a sadness that is now a strength. It's an ethereal motivation that no one can ever strip from me.
That's really beautiful, Sean.
Fuck yeah.
One more question. We're kind of almost done, but this has just been a really good talk.
Just been a good cry.
Just been a good cry. This is, yeah.
Where I'm Big Mama's voice, anytime I even bring her up, like, I start to choke up a decent bit.
It's hard not to. It's hard when you like love someone so much. I mean, do you think that understanding removes love for you a little bit? Do you think that you understand what love is and what all that love meant?
I think
and that's
part of
why you can be separate from it?
Part of what makes love, we were talking earlier, is it's unquantifiable and everyone makes it what they want.
Yeah.
So you can't understand it because we just throw the goddamn word around and just make it whatever we want in the moment. So a lot of times we use the word love because we don't understand, and sometimes we use it because we just don't want to get further in. Like,
Yeah.
nobody wants to know like the music theory behind a song. They just want to hear the song. Like, that's not, you know what I mean? Like, some people know how to analyze it further, but that's not for everybody. There could be a scientist who goes like, well, it's this chemical and this chemical. I mean, technically it takes one peptide, which you fire millions, every second, to get like either to get a boner or be in love or to be hate or be anything. Like, it takes just one little chemical, one little cell landing in a receptor, and it causes a whole bodily change that you can't do anything about. So I don't think I gain anything from trying to understand it further than that.
But you understand, like, when you are with someone and you feel love for them in the moment, you understand why you feel love for them, and you...
It's very easy to go, why did you do that? And you go like, oh, because of this. And you didn't really know that when you did it. You said that afterwards. You analyzed and you assumed. You don't actually.
No.
It's very easy to be dishonest with yourself about what your motivations are. So people could say like, I love because of this.
Yeah.
Like, just let it be a feeling. Feelings don't have to be exactly described, and the word love is so amorphous because we all act like it's the same, but all we know is we do stupid stuff when it happens, and it's just a feeling that we can't quantify any other way. So we found a term that is variable to describe a variable feeling. So again, I can try to say like, oh, I love because of this and this and this. Doesn't make that any more accurate. That just makes it convenient for me. That makes me feel good about how I describe my feelings. Doesn't make it accurate.
This has been a really good talk, Sean.
Shut up.
This has been a really good cry talk, Sean.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming by. Do you want to? I usually end the podcast by asking someone what kind of their fear is when they go into a new relationship, but I feel like in some ways do you feel like you have any fears when you date people? And things you might be doing to kind of overcome those fears or work around those fears?
And that'll be one-sided. Like in the sense of I am afraid that my unsentimental nature and faith in recovery will come across as cold and unromantic. So I'm worried about actually being asked to say the truth, that I don't really care about anything. But I do, but I don't but I don't at the same, does that?
I totally understand what you mean. You understand that in the end.
I'm worried their feelings are going to get hurt, but when I'm honest about how I don't see the point in BS, in lying, in other stuff, which they like in some ways, but then they don't like in another, when you go like, well, I probably would be fine if you died. No one wants to hear that, but like, sorry, I'm going to kill myself when I'm 68. They'll be like, that's sad. They're like, I don't care. If you think that's sad, like, bodily autonomy is important from the ground up. It's not just about abortion. It's also about euthanasia and suicide. Get the fuck off my back, or I'll do whatever the hell I want. Like, and so when I get in a relationship, I'm afeared that they're gonna still be too stupidly innocent. I try to think that there's a right and wrong, and there's not. There's what makes my mom happy. The judgment's in there already. I don't need you for that, and I'm worried that they'll have a TV idea of love that I'm gonna have to fight later.
That's really good, Sean.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming on this podcast.
Thanks very much for having me, Andrea.
This is really beautiful.
It was a fucking pleasure.
Yeah. Do you want to tell people where they can find you, and also the names of your albums so that we can listen to them?
First one is Dead and Gone on ASD Records, and second one is Angry and Alone. Oh wow, big jump there on ASD Records. Third one is In My Head and not available anywhere. And you can find me on shows that I will remember now when I look at my, there's a camera.
This is coming out in 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So.
Okay. Though I'm doing Matt LeGrand's Juice Box show, and then I'm on the 27th of September. I'm the comedian announcer for Game On Mario Kart tournament downtown.
Is that Anthony Deo's thing?
Yeah.
Angel City Brewing?
Yeah.
It's a Thursday
on the 27th.
Okay, cool.
And then I don't know, the Improv on October 21st. I'm trying to think like further in 2 weeks.
What's your social media?
I thought you were gonna say social security number for a second. It's like,
please give me that.
That's where you can find me at 6226 North Craner Avenue. Like, at Sean White Comedy, SEAN White Comedy. Oh, that sounds bad. I should say that in a different order.
It's just his name, guys. Relax. It's not an alt-right thing.
It's fine. It's not an alt-white thing. It's
I mean, it looks like it could be, but once you know him, it's not. It's okay.
Yeah. That's probably also because I date almost exclusively non-white people.
Hey, we out here.
And well, I mean, if I get these blue eyes on some dark skin, that's gonna be fucking that's gonna drown.
It'll pop.
And just whatever genitalia they want, they're gonna drown in. It's gonna be amazing. Dating an Indian lady right now. My ex-wife was like Native American. And I was like, you can't get anybody to take my last name. No one's gonna ever want my last name.
It's very funny.
You can't just be like, no, come on, you.
That's one of my on your first album when you make that bit. Yeah. It's very funny. I really enjoy it.
It's very true because I realized like it's sort of this like like I remember like in the South somebody was like, is she gonna take your last name when you get married? I'm like, no. She's not white. Why would she want the last name white? Like that's not. She's Native American. That's not who you give that name to. That's not. They don't like.
They're not a fan.
I mean, I find the name annoying. Like, why did they like in the South? Always the duck. Like, I always all the time. I always get this stupid fucking joke.
I will. Okay, this is a really quick thing, and I was gonna say this earlier, but I forgot. Is one time I was at a stoplight and I was listening to your album with the windows down. And you did the joke where you go, they should have a registry for divorced people. And the dude in the truck next to me laughed so loud. It's really cute. So it's a really good album. You guys should listen to it.
Thank you. Best album of 2015 according to AV Club and the Onion. The only comedy album on their list of best albums. But yeah, go check it out. Buy my second one, actually. No, the first one's people bought enough. Buy my second one. What's wrong with you people?
I illustrated the cover for that album, so I'm extra partial. It's a good album also.
The stupid PR company really messed up on that one, and I'm not very happy with it. And I have it in my contract that I get my rights back after 5 years, and I'm about to take the rights back for my first album because they were a jerk about my second. Like, it's like one of those, like, you know what, fine, you don't get to play, I'm taking my ball and going home. If you're, I'll take both of them. Like,
so your third album, did you record it yet?
No. I'm being extremely picky about the material that goes on it. And I threw away about 30 minutes that I didn't want to use about being Southern because I was like, that just sounds stupid. And
is it all the stuff about your family fighting in convenience stores and whatnot?
No, that's the second one.
Oh, okay.
That's on the second
one. That was an Angry Alone?
Yeah, that's an Angry Alone.
I like that one a
lot. And this one's we're about a lot of different stuff. Like it's like the one of like my dad's girlfriend after my mom died, like trying to kill herself and the dog knocking the gun out of her hand, and but she couldn't bleed because she took all this blood pressure medication. Like that's a real story. Either that or she blamed it on the dog, which is like something you definitely don't blame. Like I understand blaming a fart on a dog, but not attempted suicide. Like that's something that maybe tone that down.
You gotta own up to that one a little bit. Yeah. Okay.
It's trying. I'm trying to get a lot more personal than I was before. And so that's a lot
more personal than my whole family died.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because I talk about what happened to me, and I don't talk about me.
That's true.
So now I'm actually trying to open up.
That's really cool. Thanks so much for coming on, Sean.
Thank you very much for having me.
Guys, if you like this podcast, follow us on all the things at Andrea Loves Everybody. Email us, andrealoveseverybody@gmail.com. And you can follow me on all the stuff at Sundress Comic if you wanna. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.